Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus giving you more gameplay out of the New Orleans Saints playbook. Once again, guys, this is going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly, and particularly the ugly. I'm playing weekend gameplay, and my team is not stacked like a lot of the teams I'm facing right now. A lot of the teams I'm facing are 94, 95s overall. As you can see right here, this is the type of teams that I'm running into that are dramatically better than my team. So, when you're playing weekend gameplay, you have to pretty much decide if it's worth playing a game if things start getting a little bit out of hand. Now, this opponent that I was playing against actually had a scheme. He was using tight bunch, or actually tight single back bunch, which is a formation that's actually in the New Orleans Saints playbook, but this particular formation is real difficult because obviously of the pitch, a lot of people will establish the run. Now I know he's going into a pass right now because it's taking long for him to snap the ball, so he's probably trying to redirect his players, but look at his little catch and route. He actually threw right in the right coverage. It was actually a very good read right there, so I knew I was running into an opponent that was actually playing fairly good. Now I want to just give you a heads up, this gameplay that I'm going to show you 3 games in a row. And right from the very beginning, I got this is going to be a 1 and 2 scenario where I drop 2 of the games. But I want to show you firsthand some of the reads and some of the frustrations that I have with playing Madden Ultimate Team. So right here, I go ahead and set him up with a cover 2 invert blitz, which is not. I'm showing him the safety blitz 3, but then I'm actually doing a hybrid coverage. And because he was taking so long to set things up, I was able to go and set it up, and he actually throws right into coverage right here. Chris Harris, my 91 overall corner, is able to go ahead and pick off his big dog Aaron Rodgers right there because he threw right in the coverage. So come out of the I-form set right here. I'm able to go and pick up about 10 yards right there. A nice little run. Come back to it, and I jump into he's got off coverage, so I'm just going to hit the little whip route, but his safety is a madman. That safety right there, 28, I don't know who it was. That guy was making plays all over the place. He came down, forced a tip, and then his linebacker actually goes in and picks the ball off. So I knew I was in some serious trouble based on this guy's cards, what he had. He's going to have players making plays for him, and they're actually going to go ahead and tighten up the passing lanes. And when you play Madden Ultimate League, especially when you're playing Weekend League, you're going to run into these God squads that are going to be dramatically better than your team, and you got to play ice cold. And it just was a very frustrating situation. So right here, I'm able to go and get the angles. You can see he actually clicks on and actually makes a missed tackle, and I'm able to go ahead and pick up a good first down, jump into another shotgun formation, do a little halfback base. But his defenders actually split the gap right there and go in. So I no-huddle him and try to hit him with levels across the middle. But take a look at this block shed on the back end side. I had no time whatsoever. His defensive lineman just ate up my tackle. So I'm able to go and pop him right over the middle with verticals to go ahead and get a first down, but I just felt like I was definitely in a tough situation. So right here, coming to one of my favorite plays, and I look off to the right hand side. The safety came down and played the route, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the guys over the middle because the safety was coming down and playing any kind of hook routes or any kind of sideline routes. So come back to the Power O right here. I'm actually faking some audibles and doing some butt taps. Once again, that defensive lineman, which I think was 88 overall, I don't know if it was Brooks or Brandon or whatever, that guy was killing me. So when I had flipped into play, he's got off coverage. I take Irvin and I put him on a deep out. This is generally a good play that you can use against cover 2, and I actually throw into coverage. And take a look at this. This safety, once again, hits me once again for another interception. He just plays the ball perfectly and takes off. He's off to the races. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm pressed for time. I got basically about an hour to play on Easter Sunday. in the morning. I can't keep playing a guy that's got a superior team because it's just going to waste my time and I'm just going to get waxed if I make any kind of slight mistake. So jump into another game. Sure enough, I jump against another opponent who's got 98, 98, 97. He's got Kellen Johnson. He's got a completely powered up LT card. So I'm like, oh man, this is just another type of situation where I'm going to be running into it. So I'm using one of my base defenses, which is going to be the safety 3 blitz out of the 43 under. Right there, I try to set it up. I go ahead and go with the hard flats because I want to go ahead and take away any kind of outside runs and also any kind of underneath routes. You can see right there the safety, which is Brian Dawkins. I just picked him up. He actually shoots the gap right there to go ahead and stop that run right there. So I do have one good player on my team, which is an elite player. But right here, look at Dawkins does not come up with it, and basically he's able to go and get past me. If I was doing it against anybody else, I wouldn't be able to complete those type of balls. They would just pick me off with my 92 overall team and my 92 overall wide receiver. So it is frustrating when you're playing these superior teams, but you can get victories, you can get wins against these guys. So once again, going into my coverage right here, and he doesn't make a good read. My safety comes up, which actually my strong safety, which is Ed Reed. He's a 91 overall. I picked him up for chemistry reasons, for salary cap. So back to the run right now. I'm going to go ahead and try to go to the outside. My pulling guard actually picks up a nice little tackle, so I'm able to get a 2nd and 8 situation. But get some positive yardage, it's fine. So jump into one of my favorite plays. I just kind of got away from this play over the last couple game plays, but basically what I'm doing is looking for the crossing over the middle, and actually I've got the backside crossing route because actually the slot receiver actually was getting covered up by man, so I'd love to have that backside read. So I have got a 4th progression to go with. So back to I-form, go into a play that I got picked off in the previous gameplay with the little whip. The whip was actually covered up. I missed the actual corner route, so I go ahead and try to do a low pass with Clark, but he does not come up with the ball. So I actually missed that read right there. So just not playing very clean, and I think a lot of it has to do is I'm just feeling a little bit rushed. But hit him with the power over once again. Little spin move right here. He totally misses and whiffs on the tackle. I'm able to go ahead and take it up into the end zone to go up 7-0 against my opponent with his superior team to mine based on the first couple cards. So went ahead, stayed with the hard flats, safety blitz right here. It actually takes a shot up top. I'm gonna able to swipe it and actually knock that ball out. Actually, not a bad smart move. You might as well go ahead and challenge my corners. But Bailey and Harris are fairly good corners. They're easy to get, and I'm able to go and get him a 3rd and 10 situation. Come with the blitz. He shoots right over the middle, makes the right read. I actually did not make right coverage right there. I actually didn't play the middle of the field like I'm supposed to. I just completely pulled out of the hole, and that's how he's able to get the completion. So 1st and 10 situation. Still rolling with the safety blitz. Staying with the coverage concept, he's actually looking for verticals, and he throws right into coverage. Once again, Ed Reed comes up with another catch. I just picked this guy up. I picked up Ed Reed for like 40K as far as coins are, and I have no coins whatsoever, and I'm just trying to use him for salary cap, and he's already come up big time for me already. So back to the running plays. I'm doing the inside zone out of the I-form slot. And I'm just faking audibles, and right here actually his defensive line gets a little penetration and tackles me from behind. So go back to the same formation again. I'm going to go ahead and just try to establish the run against my opponent. I want him thinking about as much as possible. So right here I get fairly good running right there, but I get bottled up by safety. So safety actually cleans me up. So 3rd and 5 situation. I come out of the pivot play. And what I've been doing is I'm running this off to the right-hand side. I drag up Irvin, and I've got a little deep out route. So he comes down and bites on Irvin's route, which actually was not. It was a fairly smart thing to do because my tendency is to hit those out routes. And I come back into trips, which is this is a vertical play action, verticals play. And right here, I just go ahead and do a nice little inside pass to Michael Irvin. I put in the slot, and my opponent quits out. So right now, 1-1. in weekend league. I'm going against another God squad. Look at us, 98, 98, 99. He's got really good defensive backs. He's got Bradham, so he's got a nice little edge rusher, and there's my team once again, and Brian Dawkins I just picked up over the weekends. So back, getting the ball right away, and I'm just trying to go ahead and establish a run. So he's got his defensive line established over the right. Missed my read. If I would have, probably would have hit that hole a little bit quicker off to the edge, I probably would have picked up another, probably a little bit more yardage. Do the little whip route with Ingram. And right there it's wide open, and I just go ahead and take it up, but as you can see, he gets a big hit with his safety to go ahead and knock the ball out. So that should have been a second and two type of situation, but I actually blew it right there. So right here I actually do a premature spin move and actually go right into one of those blockers, and then I take a delay a game on a 3rd and 7. So that puts me in a situation where I got to go ahead and get a nice little passing situation. So I do one of my favorite plays. Drag up my one defender to go ahead and pull the other way, the guy off to the left, and Jackson comes up with a nice little spectacular catch right there to go ahead and catch the ball within coverage, and I'm off to the races. So once again, 1st and 10 type of situation, flip the power L, and I try to block the edge to make sure I can actually get some pretty good blocking. As you can see right there, my pulling guard Okoye just wasn't really doing any good blocking for me, and that's what actually opened things up a little bit. So come into a play action play, where usually I'm trying to open up Irving over the middle. And he's a cover 3 shell, and everybody seemed like locked down right there, but I was able to go and hit Irving, and I just have a tendency to do basically a possession catch, so I probably could have racked it. Come back into the slots formation and actually go ahead and use the draw play, because a lot of people are in zone, and I actually no-huddle him because I figured he's just not going to get out of this zone. I can go ahead and get a cheap touchdown, and sure enough, I'm able to go up by a touchdown against my opponent. So on defense, once again, running this safety 3 blitz is my main play, and just trying to take away some of his reads. So going strictly coverage right here, looking over the middle, and look at this. He actually nice little dot off the sideline. I didn't have cloud coverage, so none of my guy wouldn't fall up. So that was actually a nice little play. He comes into basically a gun formation, which I think is like a trips formation, and he basically goes ahead and he just keeps spamming this inside run, which I think is just a halfback base. Coming back to it once again, and he goes once again with the inside run, and my line just was not cleaning that up, so I got to make some adjustments right here, and he actually catches me on a defensive lineman and almost come up with an interception right there, because he does a little cross over the middle, but he's able to pick up a first round. So inside run, once again, Blunt is just falling forward for yards. This guy is just tearing me up, and he's staying with this run. So I don't want to get away from what I'm successful with, but I get a coverage sack right there. He doesn't make the reads correctly. I go ahead and play that correctly. So I come out of the cover 2 type of a look right here, and then the pressure comes in. He goes into a timely play action read play right there, and able to go ahead and get him for a sack, and he settles through 3. All right, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now. So far I'm playing up better than his team. Up 7-3, I'll take it. If I can go ahead, put points on the board, go into the second half, I'll be feeling pretty good about myself. So I'm going to do the inside zone. He's got his defensive line scrunched right here, and just going to go ahead and look for the blocks. And I've got pretty good blocking right here, but 23 will come back and get a nice little saving tackle right there. So I think he's running some kind of a cover 3 shell. I don't recall off the top of my head, but you can see he's got the defensive linebacker on the edge, and right there gets some pretty good blocking. He gets caught up in the blocking. I'm able to go pick up some fairly easy yards. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Go back to the play action play. I take Ingram and I put him in a drag. And right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and try to block my running back. I'm going to fake a run with this, and I do a little crossing route over the edge. Everything looks locked up, so I go ahead and dump it down to the fullback, and his defensive back comes down and plays the ball hard. So I actually take a loss of downs right there. So back on offense right here, I'm doing a levels concept off the left. I probably should have hit the tight end, so they gave me an extra blocker, but I actually hit LT up there. So this is probably the biggest bonehead play of the game. Look at his defensive line. It's completely spread out. I should have went with an inside zone, but I decided to go ahead and do the levels concept, and his guy comes down, bites. I throw into coverage. I missed a read. I missed a run, and right here he totally gets screwed right there. For some particular reason, the play just stops, and he should have went with a pick six right there. So he got screwed by EA, but I made some bonehead plays right there. So that was actually kind of frustrating. So right there, I actually take away one of his reads and send the dogs after him, and I'm able to go ahead and bottle up that QB run for for 5 yards. He comes back to a 3 tight end set right there, and actually he's able to go ahead and get a nice big run right here. And you can see Blunt actually just breaking my run down and actually getting past people. So I'm in some serious trouble, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if I can tie the game or basically get a touchdown, I'll be in some pretty good situations. So I'm going to keep hitting with levels. I'm going to come up with levels as my base play, then switch into other plays. Now I see the gaps opening up, so I go with an inside draw play right here. His defenders actually come down and play it fairly well, but I'm able to go and pick up a first down. So I know huddle. I got 3 timeouts. I figured to get a little bit closer. I got the whip route on the backside, which he wasn't playing. I threw the ball a little bit late, but I'm able to go and pick up a nice little first down and get it down to the 26 seconds situation. So right back to levels again. You drag up, put Jackson on a fly route, looking for the flat. I got the drag route over the middle, and right here Cooks is able to go ahead and pick up a nice chunk of yardage right there. So 2nd and 10, go to verticals right here. I've got Ingram in the flat. And right now I see Ingram. I go ahead and drop the ball down to him. So 15 seconds. I've got to get the ball pretty close. I've maybe got 1 shot left. Once again, I'm going to go with one of my favorite game plays, play action verticals right here. He catches the ball and he actually fumbles it. And I literally had my wife like screaming at me at this time because we had to be going out for Easter dinner. So I couldn't keep playing this game because the game was just going to get stretched out. So I had to bail on the game, but you know, this is the good, bad, and ugly. This is an ugly series where I actually go 1 and 2 in weekend gameplay. I love weekend gameplay. It's fun, but it's also frustrating because if you haven't been grinding solos, if you haven't been basically flipping cards for coins or buying packs, it's hard to be very competitive in this game because you're going to run into teams that are much better than yours. So to my subscribers, guys, once again, I do show you my good games, my bad games, and my gameplays all together. Going to be jumping into a new playbook. Going to be jumping into the Bills. A lot of great under center formations that are really cool, and they got some okay gun formations, but it's really going to be under center. So thanks for your support, and until next time.